Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the Cody Knits podcast. This is episode 48. I've missed you all this past couple of weeks. I hope you're doing well. Um, I've had a most interesting, sorry about that. I'm sitting in the floor to start off. I'm sitting in the floor in front of the window, hoping that the lighting will be a little bit better this time until I get things moved around. I just haven't had time yet. But anyway, interesting morning. I was supposed to take Diamond to the vet this morning at 9 o'clock, and I got up early and everything, and I just forgot. And I didn't get there till 10 o'clock. I called them at like 9:30, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I forgot it. I just got busy doing other things or whatever. So, Diamond just needed to get a booster shot for her Lyme disease. It's really bad up here apparently, so I don't want her to get that. So we had to get a booster shot, didn't we? Afterwards, we went in to get a car wash because it's really beautiful here today. And because they salt the roads and stuff, that can erode your car. So they told me that it's a very good idea to wash the car when it's not freezing. So it was a beautiful day. It's like 47, 48 degrees, very warm. And so that's what we did. She was not a fan of the car wash. It kind of freaked her out a little bit. But there was an older person in front of me who went, and this thing that should have taken 10 or 15 minutes ended up taking 45 minutes because the person in front of me was not the best driver in the world, and they didn't understand what they were supposed to do. And yeah, I couldn't leave because there's a car behind me. The dude came out and was like fussing at me, like telling me to roll down my window. And telling me to roll down my window, and it's like, why are you just sitting here? I was like, because the car in front of me is stuck and I can't go backwards because there's cars behind me. So anyway, very interesting morning to say the least. And yeah, sorry about that. So it was definitely an interesting morning. There is a video I have shared on my Facebook, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's the greatest exercise review video ever, or something like that. And it is not meant for young people, young children to watch. It has a lot of the F word in it and stuff, but it is hilarious. The lady is, I don't know who she is, but she's from the UK, and I think that just adds to why I think it's so funny. Sorry, I gotta quit thinking about it because it makes me laugh so hard. So anyway, you gotta go watch it if that kind of stuff does not offend you. So anyway, you're here for the knitting. By the way, I'm Cody. It's not a good time to play ball. I'm Cody, and this is the Cody Knits podcast. And you can find me here on Ravelry as Cody Knits podcast. You can find me on Ravelry as Cody Knits, and there's a Cody Knits podcast Ravelry group as well. I do host some giveaways there, so check it out, join. If you're watching, please subscribe to the channel and like, give a thumbs up, that kind of stuff. That's encouraging for me. What else? Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram as nurse_Cody, and Cody is spelled C-O-D-I. And yeah, so this episode I have a couple of discharged objects, some FOs. I have some workups and some questions for you guys, and some other things to share. So, are you going to sit down? Let me have a sip of my coffee. And I have a couple of finished objects. Oops, one I forgot to get. This one is a little finished object. It's not food. It's just a little earbud cozy. I used to have a pattern, use a pattern and make a lot of these, but I don't remember where the pattern is, so I just kind of made it up myself, or whatever. So, yeah, there's that. There we go. And I just made it out of some scrap sock yarn. These things really are perfect for putting in, you know, your earbuds in. I love these. Oh, look, I'm wearing my pink and purple socks today. Guess that's one advantage to sitting in the floor. You can see what socks I'm wearing. Speaking of socks, look, they're finished. These are I call these the Minocqua, Autumn in Minocqua socks. And Diamond, hello. Scoot back. The pattern is the Cobblestone pattern by Mina Phillip. It's from her Beyond Vanilla sock collection. The yarn is Cascade Heritage Wave. $75.25 merino nylon. Oh, and I think the when I added this on my project page, I think it said the colorway was Solar Wave or something with the sun. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But the number is 502. So I'm recording this time. I'm on my phone again like last time. That seemed to be a lot better quality video with sound and everything. So I am recording again, but this time I laid it on its side. So hopefully it's vicariously balanced on a little setup I have rigged up here, and hopefully it doesn't fall, and hopefully that'll make there be full screen whenever I go to upload it. But anyway, I got two of these. I love these. This yarn is very soft. It's I really enjoyed this colorway. I enjoyed knitting them. I would recommend the yarn. Definitely. I did a Fish Lips Kiss Hill. And it looks like I'm still going to have lighting issues, but that's because I'm sitting in the floor instead of at my desk, which would bring me up to the level of the window, which would make the lighting better. But there you go. That's pretty accurate. Yay! Now I'm going to wash these so I can wear them. Do y'all do that? Do you wash them before you wear them, or do you just go ahead and wear them? I like to wash them first. And you know what I love? Another thing that I love about knitted socks, when I wear dress socks, like to work, I wear dress clothes like button-up shirt and slacks and stuff, and the dress socks make my feet smelly. Like, my feet kind of get sweaty, even when they're cold. So, they get kind of smelly. I don't know. I live by myself, so I don't get a whole lot of complaints about it. But I notice it like when I take my shoes off for a minute or whatever. But when I have wool socks on, my feet still get a little sweaty, but they don't stink, and that's because it's wool. I don't know if you all realize that or not, but if you have smelly feet that are, sweaty, smelly feet, wearing wool isn't going to make your feet smell worse. It actually whisks that moisture away from your feet, and so you don't get smelly feet. So, anyway, I love it. I knit them on ChiaoGoo needles, the red lace circulars, 32-inch circulars, size 0, US 0, so that's 2 millimeter. So yay! I entered these into the Yarn Hoarders, something for, what is it called? Something for Dobie. Socks for Dobie. It's Harry Potter, so I had to improve. Sorry, I can't remember the exact name of what she calls it, but something about socks for Dobie. And you can enter these in. She accepted whips, so I did start these back in October when it was autumn in Minocqua, and I just now finished them last week, and that was because Christmas came and I had all that stuff, so these were not for me. These were for me, and so I was knitting for other people, but I have them, and I can't wait to knit more. Another thing I finished is this beautiful hat. This is the Crescendo hat by Erin at Gimme Yarn 418. She also has the Etsy shop, Southpaw Creations. If you type in Crescendo this into Ravelry, you will find this hat. It's $2.50. I'm hosting, a lot of people I think are, but I am also hosting a knit along for this hat. It's $2.50, and all the proceeds go to little Seth, her nephew. He's like 8 months old and has cancer, and he is currently going through chemo and everything, and poor little guy. It's sad, but all the proceeds from her her Ravelry sales, her pattern sales, goes to little Seth and his fund. So I really encourage you to go check that out. There's a page on my Ravelry for finished objects. I have one entry so far. Please, guys, go and knit this hat and support Erin. She's wonderful. If you don't watch her podcast, she has the TGIF, Thank God It's Finished podcast. She's very supportive. And if you win, you get a pattern. I'll gift you a pattern. And also, she has an Etsy shop, Southpaw Creations. You can pick something from her Etsy shop, and I will pay for it and have it sent to you. She has project bags and stuff. I love her project bags. She's wonderful. There's some other little things in there, too. There's zipper, drawstring bags. So you get to pick whatever she has. Sitting cross-legged makes my legs go to sleep. But anyway, so this yarn is a, I love this yarn. Let me get it. Ugh. I just had from Stash. I'm pretty sure someone gifted this to me. In something. But this is, I love this yarn. It's tweed. The color is it's called Sea Blue Tweed. And it has all these different flecks of colors in it. And it's beautiful. Oh, here's the crown of the hat. I really like this. This is a very, it's a great textured pattern. I'm really pleased with how it shows off the tweed aspects. This was a different, it's not a hard pattern to do. It was a different stitch than I've ever done before. And so it was fun, and I really enjoyed knitting this. The pattern repeat is easy to memorize, and you have a beautiful hat. I really want to get one of those glass-headed mannequins because it, you know, it'd fit better, and I could show off the hats a little bit better. But anywho, there's that. So those are my discharges. Yay! I absolutely had a blast knitting that hat. I really did. I'm not just saying that. I really actually enjoyed knitting it. So, that coffee is so good. Let me just go on a tangent here. I drink coffee every morning. I make it and I take it to work. And it just does not taste good as whenever I'm home and I'm sitting down and enjoying it out of a real coffee cup. It tastes better. People, I know that doesn't make any sense logically, but it does. To me, in my head, this angle really shows off how big my forehead is. And look at this hairline. I've always had this sort of hairline. My dad has this hairline, a widow's peak. But it's getting more and more peakish. Oh. Anyway, back to the yarn. So I do have a few workups. Some I'm kind of about, and other, well, right now everything I'm knitting I'm just kind of about. I'm not super happy with what I'm knitting. This is in a wonderful gift, a bag that I got. Big Bang. I love this style. It's a box, if you can't tell. Big Bang Theory is hilarious. But this is my ombre hood cowl hood, or whatever. What is it? Ombre Cowl Hood by Hillary Carr. And I have made some progress on it. I'm at the point now where last time I showed you I was probably somewhere around here. But now I am at the point where I'm no longer to use the green and then hold the blue double. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, so if you're interested, I wanted to use this type of yarn, lace weight. It's this is the yarn ball. Cape Town Collections Kid Glass, hand dyed. This was the green band, but it's 72% Super Kid mohair, 28% mulberry silk. It's from Plymouth Yarn Company. And I wanted to use this this type of yarn with something. And so the lady at the yarn shop that I went to said, well, this is the perfect pattern for it. And it is, I think, it's not a bad pattern. And I'm not, like, super displeased with it or anything. But the thing is that it's knitting in the round, just stockinette, and so it's just knit. So I get a little bit bored with it, but I'm about to be in the part where I'm supposed to hold but part of me is I still have this much left. It's not a whole lot, but you know, of the green. So part of me wants to keep going, and the other part of me wants to bind off and get on with the project so it gets done. I'm using my Chalgu red lace interchangeables. These are size 5mm, US 8. So this is the blue. I love this blue color. And then after you do, this color held double for so many inches, you switch and you do the blue and this, I'm going to do this gray together for so many inches, and then you do this doubled, and then you're done. So it's coming along. It's not, I don't have any particular person in mind to give this to. You know, I might sell it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So that just makes me not in a huge hurry to work on it. But I do try to make myself work on it, you know, for a little bit, do a row or two every now and then, just so that it continues to get progress. So, yeah, there's that. I got a pretty good bit. I probably knit a good, you know, 3 inches on it this past couple of weeks, because after I finished my socks, I didn't cast on anything for a while, and I just would pick that up and knit for a minute. So there's that. Then this is in a bag that Erin made for me. I sent her this fabric, and she made this for me, and I love this nautical theme. One day, when I have a lot of money and build my own house, I want to be on the beach, and this is the kind of stuff I want to decorate with. Right now. Who knows what I'll want by that time. Anyway, I'm doing a crochet project. It's a virus shawl. You're all familiar with this. I haven't done a whole lot on it, but this is going to be for my friend Kirby. She sent me this. It's a Karen cake. She sent this to me back whenever it was hard to find. And so I decided I would make her a virus shawl out of it. And it's fun. It's the purpley colors. So, yep, no big hurry though. She's not expecting it, so I don't have to hurry up. But this was nice. Like when I come home from work and I'm tired, and I don't really, you know, I'm just going to eat and, you know, just kind of sit for a little bit. And, you know, this is kind of nice to pick up and crochet. But the thing is the crocheting hurts my wrist if I do it too long, I guess. And I have a ganglionic cyst here. Well, it kind of comes and goes. And when I crochet too much, it comes back. And it just hurts. So, but yeah, virus shawl. I think this is my 4th one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is my 4th one. I have some more Karen cakes here, as you can see. And I really want to, this isn't Karen cakes. This is a hand spun yarn that Deb gave me. And it's so, I want to make a hat out of it for me, but it's so beautiful. I want to keep it for a little bit longer before I knit something with it. Anyway, I want to, my experience with Karen cakes is always, I've made virus shawls out of them. So I really want to figure out something else to make with these. But I can never, I'm just not good at that. Coming up. One more whip or workup is, I love this. This is by Rachel and her mom from Night Owl Fibers. They sent me this when I was having a really hard time, and it was a beautiful gift. You should go check out her Etsy shop, by the way, Night Owl Fibers. She dyes yarn, and she has some beautiful yarn. I don't think I have any. Oh, yeah. I knew it was over there. This is some I got from her. Sorry for the crinkly. It's hand-dyed, self-striping. And this is her color reindeer. I was gonna, it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. See the browns and then the reddy pinky color. I've been kind of hoarding this because I have a hard time using it because it's special, and I just need to order. I think if I order more, like if I have 2 of yarns from this certain dyer, like Rachel, Night Owl Fibers, then I will use one of them and knit it. But I want to keep one because it's part of the collection, right? So yeah, I have some other yarns and stuff that I really want to do that with, but it's more so the indie dyers. It's not the stuff that I know I can get. It's like commercial made. I tend to use that more readily than, so I have a whole list of indie dyers that I want to buy from. Some of them I've tried, but I can't get into their shop update in time. And then some of them, you know, I've tried to space it out because I could spend way too much money, and I can't do that. It's not a good idea. So I try to limit myself, and I want to make a list, and when I get a new knitting journal, and I'll talk more about that later, and kind of check it off my bucket list. So, of course, I finished some socks, so I'll cast some more on. But I'm probably going to frog. And I hate to do this, because I really like how it's working up. I like the colors. But the problem is, this yarn, it's not because of the company. Let me just throw that out there. It's Opal. Most of you are very familiar with Opal. This is the Brazil colorway. Very beautiful. But I think this yarn, I got it, I think it was some that Kirby had given me. And her intention was weaving with some of this, I believe. But unfortunately, I have noticed a lot of where one of the plies is breaking in different spots, and so that makes me really nervous to knit socks out of them because I'm afraid they're gonna break, especially what if one of those little breaks happens in a heel or a toe, and then I'm gonna be not happy. So I think I'm going to frog this and have to turn this into maybe a sock knitter shawl or something like that. But I did get a cuff done. So, we'll see. But yeah, I'm probably going to frog it. And with that being said, I think I'm going to cast on these. This is some Cascade Yarns Heritage Paints. Color number 9811. 7525. It's rainbow. I really like rainbow. So I think I'm going to make some socks for myself out of this. What do you think? Think I should do that? I think I should frog these and use this yarn to make something else out of, like a sock knitter shawl. That's what I made out of this same like bunch of yarn that my friend Kirby gave me, because it had some breaks in it too. But I feel like the little sock knitter shawl kind of thing, you know, I'm not as rough with those. They go over on my neck. I'm not wearing them, so I don't have to worry. And then, you know, if it does break, I can darn it. I know you can do that with socks too, but it's just less likely to break there. What do you think? Give me your opinion. So, that's all of my workups. And I don't remember if I showed you this. All finished. This is hand spun on a drop spindle by yours truly. Fiber is some fudslings from Deb at Fondant Fiber. Sorry about that. It was called Agatha, I think, is the color. But 238 yards, and I'm so proud of this. I love the colors. I love how it spun up. Oh, it smells so good. I'm just so proud of this. I just had to show it off again. Oh, it's so soft. I don't know what or when I will knit this, but I just had to show it off again. What else? Oh, I was gonna ask you guys your opinion. So I kind of been having a hankering to either knit a blanket or knit a sweater for myself. And I have this yarn that was given to me. I love this yarn. It's in a gray color. It's called, actually, Gray Beard. I have plenty of this to make a baby blanket or a sweater for myself. And I can't decide. It's super soft. I was thinking the sweater I would knit is probably the Flax by Tin Can Knits. But I can't decide. Part of me wants to get a little bit more like a true wool for a sweater. But the other part of me wants to knit this into a sweater. Then I have a piece of me that wants to knit this into a baby blanket or a throw. And I can't decide. So it's just been sitting here and I can't make up my mind. So what do you think? What should I do? I can't decide. I talked about the knit along already, so go over there and sign up for that. I did want to talk about some other things. Remember I told you I ordered a knitting journal offline? Well, it came, but it was not what I was expecting. It's cute, but it's not going to work out for me. Here it is. See, it's cute. It's made out of recycled material, but, I mean, it's tiny. It's like, it's got a little strap here. I will not be able to keep my journal the way I like to put in the yarn ball. I want to put in a picture of the finished object, write a little blurb about it. I can't do that in this journal. It's too small. Even comes with a pen. So I'm thinking about I will keep this and use it for a giveaway prize. Because it's really cute. And if you're one who just wants a knitting journal to say, you know, I cast it on this day, and, you know, take little notes on your projects, which this would be perfect for if you're like, Minocqua socks, cast on 64 stitches using this size needle. Then you say, okay, I knit 20 rows of ribbing, and then I knit, you know, 80 rows for the leg, and then I did such and such heel, and then I knit this much, and then I did the toe. This is perfect for that, I think. Sorry, ouch. So, I'm going to use this for a giveaway. It kind of was a knitting journal fail. So, next weekend, I haven't ordered another one offline, but next weekend I am to go pick up my father and stepmother from, um, they're going to come up and stay with me for a couple of weeks until they move. They're moving back to the Philippines. My stepmother is from the Philippines, and they're going to move back there. And they're flying out of Chicago instead of Atlanta. The flights were cheaper that way, and that gave them a good excuse to come up and see me for a little while before they left. So they're actually taking a bus from Atlanta up to Madison, Wisconsin. And if you know, you've probably heard of Madison, Wisconsin, if you listen to or know anything about Susan B. Anderson. So I'm going to go and spend the weekend there. My dad doesn't come until late Sunday. It's like 8 o'clock if they stay on time p.m. Sunday night, which is going to stink because it's a 3-hour drive for me. So then I got to go to work on Monday. So anyway, I'm going to go for the weekend. I think I will get up Saturday morning and go and stay the night and then, hang out in the city Saturday. It's a college town, so there's a lot more to do there than there is here. So I'm looking forward to it. But there's a yarn shop and things like that. So I do plan on doing a little bit of shopping while I am there. This is a beautiful weekend, and it makes me want to get out of the house and go shopping, but I'm resisting. I'm resisting. I'm not. I'm going to wait so that, it's more special. And hopefully, if the universe aligns things in the right way, I will get to meet Susan B. Anderson at the yarn store. Wouldn't that be really cool? If you're just shopping and, oh my gosh. Anyway, that probably will not happen, by the way. But it'd be really cool. But I will be so close. At least I'll be in the same city that she's from. That's really cool. She's put out a podcast recently. I watched it earlier this morning. At 7 o'clock this morning, actually. And she's such a lovely person. Not only is she a wonderful designer, but she's also a very lovely person. And she's just somebody that, you just can't help but love. And she does such wonderful knitting. She gives so much to the knitting community. And, so yeah, and I just have to kind of brag about that a little bit. And, Kay, if you're watching, I will have to have a picture taken with her and tag you in the picture or something and say, look who I got to meet in person. Anyway, I'm just being kind of silly now. I did want to do one more thing. I have these books. They're Harry Potter Year 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. They're paperback. They've been loved by me. And I've had them for a while. The complete hardback. Nope, it's not. They're not hardback. That's on my wish list. I have the complete box set of these. So if anyone wants to do a book swap, let me know. I put this on Instagram at one point, but I didn't really have much real interest. So if you want to do a book swap, and you would like to have these books, all the pages are in there. I don't think there's any writing in them. They've just been read. And paperback books get those creases. They've been read a couple of times, actually. But yeah, it's years 1, 2, and 3. So if you're interested in them, let me know, and we can maybe do a book swap or something. Speaking of books, I have been listening to Moby Dick, and it's a classic, and I had never read it, and I bought it in one of those. I started kind of collecting. If you go to Barnes and Nobles, they have like those collector's edition of those classic books like that, and I bought it, and then I was too excited to wait till I got home, so I downloaded the audio book and I started listening to it. It's a long book. It's a long audio book too. But I've really enjoyed actually listening to it in audio. Because whoever's reading it, I can't remember who it is. But they do a really good job, and it's like of storytelling and they're not just reading it to you, they're really acting it out in their voice. And I really enjoy listening to those books when I have to drive a long way, or when I'm just cleaning a house, and I don't really want to listen to music, or if I'm sitting and knitting. That's what I do. So I'm chugging along. It's a really good book. Some people get into, the meaning of the book and blah, blah, blah. But to me, I haven't really found like that deeper meaning into it. Or I haven't really searched for it either. To me, it's just been a great book that tells you this tale of this captain and this whale. And I've actually cried a couple of times. Not because there's like super sad stuff in there, but because they're killing whales. And I feel bad. But back then, that's what they did. And they go into, how they catch them and how they collect the different parts from them and eat certain parts and sell certain parts. And it's a very interesting book. Like I said, I'm not really getting into the whole philosophical kind of deeper meaning of the book, and I think that's okay. Sometimes I think people overthink when they read. They read books. Sometimes, why can't it just be written for entertainment and to tell this story? Why does it have to? Why do you always have to find that deeper meaning or whatever, hidden message or whatever? Maybe it's not one. Maybe there's not one. Maybe the author just had this story to tell, and that's what they're doing. I'm sure there is some deeper meaning into it about finding yourself or whatever, but I'm just enjoying it for the entertainment. Anyway, that really is... Oh, nope. I have one more thing. And I'm going to try not to cry when I talk about this. Because it's kind of sad. So, I had a patient, very wonderful person, and she knit, and so we kind of connected with that, seeing her knit and stuff, and just talking to her about that kind of stuff. And then she got really sick, and she was coming in basically every day, and I was taking care of her as best I could and trying my best to make her feel better and get better. And it was just hard because she wasn't really getting better. She was getting worse. So, anyway, long story short, she ended up in the hospital, Um, and now she is, she has transitioned. She's no longer her physical body or whatever. She's not, she passed away, I guess is the way to say it. When she was in the hospital, when I found out she was in, I knew she went because she called into the triage and they told me what was going on, and I told her she needed to go there because I wasn't going to be able to help her here. So I went to see her later that night and give her some chocolate because one day she came in and she was in a lot of pain, and we were waiting on the medicine, and so I gave her a piece of chocolate because chocolate makes everything better for a minute, right? So anyway, so she's in the hospital, and so I took her a big bag of chocolate to help make her feel better and check on her and make sure, you know, she was being taken care of and that she was okay. She found out that day that, you know, she wasn't going to get better and she didn't have a whole lot longer. We don't know. We don't know when someone's going to die. We guess, you know, we have estimates, things like that, but truly we don't know. But we did more scans and stuff, and her disease had progressed really bad, and she'd been on multiple therapies and just was not tolerating them well, and she was still progressing. So she already was told that she wasn't going to have, you know, a whole lot longer to be with us, and that the therapy that we could offer her was probably not going to help her. It would probably make her more sick than anything. And so she, you know, decided to do hospice, and which I think was a great decision. And so I got to go talk to her, and she was comfortable with, you know, her decision, and she was so sweet to me and said such wonderful things, and I don't know, these people just really inspire me. And so while she was there, she asked me if I needed a project bag. And I said, well, you can never have too many project bags, right? And she just laughed a little bit, and then she said, well, go get my bag over there. And I was like, okay. So I got it and gave it to her, and she cleared her stuff out of it, like her wallet and stuff, and she said, here, I want you to have this. So then I cried because it was really sweet, and gave her a hug, and I just want to share it with you. And it was very special to me, this bag, and here it is. It's fishing, and it's a beautiful bag. It's got this handle, and it's from the Silver Shed USA. I don't have a bag from them, but this is a very good bag. Here's the lining. And it also had this in it, like a little notions pouch that matches. And it had this little notions holder. It opens up like this. And it had a few things, some stitch markers. I love this. It's a peace sign in the yarn. Oops, sorry. And then this is a little, it says Deborah's Garden. I don't know if that's an Etsy shop or not. But it's a, what do you call it? A gauge. Is it gauge? Needle size thing. And then she had, on this side, it has some of these kind of markers. And some buttons. And anyway. And she's also knitting a hat in here. And she told me that I should have it. And she was going to send me the pattern on Ravelry, but she wasn't able to do that. But it was a cute hat. I saw one that she finished, but it has these little squiggly things. So it kind of looks like hair on top. Very cute. Look, and she uses my favorite needles. Chalgoo. She was doing it magic loop. Really pretty yarn. But I can't find the pattern. And all these stitches are dropped. So I'm not sure. Uh-oh. Sorry, you're sitting here watching me pick up stitches. Eek, that's a mess. Anyway. I'm not sure if I will finish knitting this hat. If I can find it. I'll need to start over because hopefully I can find it, because I may just need to rip it out down to here and then restart this little section and finish it. Because I don't want to rip it all the way out, because she knit this. Anyway, sorry that got all sad and stuff, but don't be sad, because she's not hurting anymore, and she was in a lot of pain. And that makes me glad that she is not hurting anymore. So, if you know what that pattern is, let me know so I can buy it and try to use that. But that's why I posted on Instagram this picture of this and said that it was really special to me. And that's why. And I wish there was some way that I could put on this bag somehow. Like that she gave it to me. Like her name. And like her birth and then her you know, the days that she, you know, from her birth date till the day she passed away or transitioned, and or something, but I don't know if that's possible. But yeah, this is very special to me for that reason. And yeah, so I wanted to show you that because I need help finding the pattern, and I needed, it's really special to me, and I wanted to share it with you all, and because you guys are special to me too. So, go watch that video of that lady doing that workout review. You have to go watch it. It's hilarious. You should only if cursing offends you or there's small kids around, do not watch it because it's a lot of that, and you don't. But it's hilarious, and yeah. Anyway, check it out. If you follow me on Facebook, it's on my page. Otherwise, I don't know if you can, like, type it in and search for it, you know, greatest exercise review of all time or something like that. But anyway, that is really all I have for you today. I'm going to try and plan to do a giveaway fairly soon. Hopefully, I can find some stuff when I go to Madison. So probably be in March when I will have and announce it. But I would like to do a giveaway, and I know I normally do my giveaways on Ravelry, but I want to do this one on YouTube because I know I have a lot of followers who don't do Ravelry, and just as a thank you for subscribing, kind of thing. I'm a little over 600 subscribers, which is really cool. But I would like to increase that, and hopefully by giving some better quality footage and giving back a little bit more now that I have those kind of resources where I can donate more to the donate to the podcast and that kind of stuff. I do want to give back. You guys support me a lot, and I want to let you know that I appreciate that. So it would probably be just something like you just got to comment below, and you know that, and then I'll do a random number generator kind of thing and pick a winner or so. So be on the lookout for that one. Let me know if you're interested in the books. Let me know what you think I should do with this yarn, sweater, or baby blanket. And don't forget the crescendo hat. Knit that up. I'm going to keep that open probably for a while. There's only one entry so far. So right now that person has a really good chance of winning. A pretty awesome prize if you ask me. So, yeah, go do that. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you are enjoying yourself. I hope you're knitting lots of lovely things. And I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. And I will see you very soon. Take care, and remember, one stitch at a time. Bye, y'all.